Thank you for waking up with us this morning and welcome to Rise and Shine. I'm Sammy Hoffman.
And I'm Mackenzie Acton.
Mackenzie, we have to talk about the White Lotus season finale, which aired Sunday. Have you seen it?
No spoilers, I haven't seen it at all yet.
Okay, well, for anyone who hasn't seen White Lotus yet, this season has a family from North Carolina, UNC Duke internal family rivalry going. There's a son deciding which to go to. They're a bit of an unusual family, but you definitely should watch because it's fun to see North Carolina on the TV.
Right, and for all of the White Lotus viewers who are now interested in North Carolina, we have a lot of rain here.
Yes, I cannot stand it, and I can't stand all of the cold weather also this week, but I'm glad that the rain is pushing the pollen away. We are going to head to our meteorologist, Katie Wilson, to tell us what we're looking at for the week. Katie?
Yes, Sammy, that rain definitely did knock that pollen down, but unfortunately it brought some cooler temps, but those will only be staying around for this week. Because right now we're at 47 degrees, nice and cool. Grab your jackets as you're walking around today, but should be a pretty clear day. And then at 12, moving to 53, and then reaching our high of 57 at 3 p.m. Now that rain yesterday that we had was due to this low pressure system that's now out in the Atlantic, but we have another cold front right behind it that's going to be dropping us down into freezing tonight, which is quite a drastic change from our weekend that was in almost the 90s, but that's North Carolina weather for you. So then moving into the later Tuesday, pushing out the rest of that rain. But then Wednesday, replaced by this high pressure system that it's over Virginia, leaving us with some nice but cooler temps on Wednesday. Thursday, we're going to be started watching this rain system that is right here. That's going to be bringing us some showers on Friday, but then we should see a good weekend. Now we are under a freeze warning, which again is crazy because we just had our shorts and everything out this weekend. But tonight, the main thing that you just need to do is if you started those gardens this weekend, just go out, cover up those gardens, and bring any plants you can. If you have a garage, bringing them inside there will be plenty fine. Now looking to our 5-day forecast, again, pretty nice but cool Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday, we'll start to see some showers move in the later evening. That will leave us with some scattered storms on Friday, but those should move out, warming up on Saturday, and we start to see those nice, warmer spring temperatures back with us. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Katie. Now, the countdown to the last day of class is on. There are only 20 more days until UNC seniors will step foot in their final class, calling for that tradition of signing the bell tower. Now, I also heard about climbing the bell tower and how that's coming up.
Yes, I am so excited. I am a senior, so I am really looking forward to climbing this bell tower.
I just got word that our Kate Chapman is actually at the bell tower right now. So what can we expect, Kate?
Thank you so much, Kate. Sorry, there seems to be some difficulties there. I will be in attendance. If you aren't a senior, though, there's lots more to do. There's a fun tradition today, free ice cream day. Ben & Jerry's will offer free ice cream cones to all customers from noon to 11 p.m. at their Franklin Street location. My recommendation, fish food or Tonight Dough. Mackenzie, what is your favorite Ben & Jerry's flavor?
That's a hard one. I think probably strawberry cheesecake is my favorite, but I haven't had it in a while.
Nice. That is my brother's favorite. So you'll have to check it out. And yes, seniors, expect to wait a few hours tomorrow, I've heard from past years, but it should be very fun. Continue the UNC tradition. It should be lots of fun and hopefully warm up a little bit. Now, something strange happening on campus. You may have seen the big sailboat in the pit last week. That was the UNC Sailing Club. Our reporter, Julia Gilmore, was at Wrightsville Beach last weekend with the club's race team and gives us a closer look at their life on the water.
Hi everyone, right now I'm at the beautiful Wrightsville Beach with UNC's sailing team as they get ready to compete against other schools in the South Atlantic Sailing Association for one of the last regattas of the semester.
The student-led race team travels across the Southeast, representing Carolina on the water almost every weekend.
Available is an annual invite regatta that we are always super excited to go to because it's a combination of high school sailors and college sailors at the same time. And this year we have a bunch of teams coming out from all over the country, from San Diego to Michigan, New York. So it's super cool to see teams that don't necessarily always sail over on the East Coast. And it's super fun to kind of be able to see the new crop of sailors that will hopefully one day recruit into our club.
When they're not traveling to other schools, the team practices on Jordan Lake and offers free learn to sail clinics for students who are interested in the sport.
Yeah, so we're a sailing club. So we have like a rec side of the club where like anyone can come learn to sail. We do like fun sail events where you can just like come out and sail if you already know. And then obviously we have our race team. So we travel around to a lot of states around the South Atlantic area. Usually we're in the North Carolina, South Carolina area, but next weekend we'll be flying down to Florida for our championships.
Okay, so we are so excited to get out here and watch. So you can see they're already out on the water, obviously pulling for a Tar Heel win, but we will see. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Julia. Summer is right around the corner, but unfortunately so are finals. But there's no need to panic because we have gathered some of the top study do's and don'ts to help you ace those exams. So first up is clenching your fists. Now, according to research by Herrnstein and colleagues, they found that clenching your fists while studying certain topics can actually trigger a recall during your exam. This is a simple gesture that links your muscle memory to the material you've learned. Next is the Pomodoro method. This technique was developed by Francesco Cirillo in 2006, and it involves studying completely undistracted for 25 minutes, followed by a 5-minute break. This improves focus and productivity. And then third is to teach what you have learned. So Seville and colleagues say that explaining the material to somebody else is one of the best ways to understand and remember information. But beware of the don'ts. Now, the first one is to not just read your notes. There are active learning techniques that are far more effective for remembering what you've studied. And I know we're in college, but really try not to pull any all-nighters. A good night's sleep can help a lot more with memory consolidation and performance. Maybe try going to bed a little bit earlier and waking up with a refreshing mindset to begin your studying. Also, don't hesitate to reach out. Peer tutoring and office hours are there for a reason. Good luck to everybody with your upcoming exams.
Thank you, Mackenzie. Now joining us for another round of book club is Sarah Dessen, former UNC professor, student, and now author of 14 novels. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And we also have our book enthusiast, Sunny, of course.
Thank you. I'm back. So my first question is about your time teaching as a professor here. How did that affect your writing? I know that you write primarily about high school students, but did the college setting affect you in any way when you were writing your novels?
Well, I think the main thing was that writing is so much about discipline, and it was impossible for me to be teaching and telling my students that they needed to be disciplined and to be writing every day and then not go home and do it myself. So it kept me honest, if nothing else.
And what do you think has been your biggest change in writing throughout the years as you continue to write these novels after novel? What keeps inspiring you to the next one?
Well, I think the core thing is to sort of stick to what is timeless about the adolescent experience. I mean, obviously, I'm not a teenager anymore, and as I get older, but there are certain things about the adolescent experience that stay the same, like your relationships with your parents, your relationships with, you know, the people that you're having crushes on or whatever, and dealing with college and the upcoming thing of college. So I think in try not to focus on the slang or the technology and just stick with the things that, you know, we can all relate to no matter what age we are.
That's very sweet. That's very true.
Very true. And are you writing anything right now? Do you have any future plans?
I'm hoping to have a book out by next June, so fingers crossed and keep an eye out for it.
Can you share anything about it?
I can't share much, except this is my most recent book, The Rest of the Story, and it is set at a lake that I made up in North Carolina, and this one is also set in the same place. So they're not sequels to each other or anything, but same setting and some overlap, like a lot of my books have overlap.
And then we heard that Along for the Ride is a Netflix movie now.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about seeing your book turn to screen?
Well, it was wonderful, and the movie was filmed in Carolina Beach, which was really special to me because I'm from Chapel Hill and I grew up here in North Carolina. And it's just such a great movie, and wherever I go, I tell people to go watch it because there's so many things to watch out there, and we don't have a lot of time, as I know, but it's a really sweet, sweet film if you have time to check it out.
And I assume books are kind of like children. Was there one you recommend our viewers go ahead and start with?
Well, I would start with Along for the Ride because
Okay.
I think it's the best known because of the movie. But yeah, it's hard to pick. I only have one kid, so she's always the favorite. But
Now let's go ahead and head to Mackenzie. Thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you.
We're so excited to read all these novels.
Mm-hmm.
And let's hear about some exciting events for this week.
Thanks, Sammy. So it is senior week, and there are some exciting events for you guys this week. Now, if you had a COVID prom, get ready for a second chance to get up and dress out. Senior prom is happening this Saturday from 8:30 to midnight. The theme is casino with several games like poker, blackjack, and roulette. Each attendee will be given a certain amount of tokens to spend at the function. There will be a prelude from 6 to 8:30 with a cash bar and free food. Tickets are $15 for each event or $25 for a bundle. And if you can't make it to senior prom, get ready for a night of high energy music and dancing. Stop by the Arts Center in Carrboro this Friday. The Arts Center is hosting the Phantom Playboys, a Wilmington band that blends swing, rock, and blues. The show is part of the Arts Center's new monthly dance party series where attendees can try out the new Marley dance floor. The show starts at 7:30 p.m. and tickets are $25. They can be purchased on the Arts Center's website. Now, if the rain doesn't hold off this weekend, ready for a night of laughs, thrills, and good music at Playmakers Theater. Starting tomorrow until April 27th, experience Little Shop of Horrors, Playmakers' latest production. The show is centered around a mysterious plant that promises fortune to a failing flower shop owner, but as the plant grows, so does its appetite. Tickets start at $20 and can be purchased on the Playmakers website. Did I also mention that it's a CLE credit? And right next door, you can enter a world filled with a witch, beans, and bread. Let's hear from Samantha to break this down.
Thank you so much. Now joining us in studio is Kang Hwa, who's playing the Baker in Keenan Theater's production of Into the Woods. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Of course. Now we're going to start off with some kind of rapid fire trivia of some of the show. Can you give me one word to describe the show as a whole?
Fairy tale.
Okay.
If you put them together, I'm like.
that is true. It's a lot of fairy tales. Can you give one word to describe your character?
Bread.
Bread. Very literal as
Yeah,
well.
literal.
And then finally, one word for your favorite scene.
Happiness?
Happiness. Okay, that's great. My favorite scene is I love the agony with the princess.
Yes.
Now, in terms of the show as a whole, Into the Woods is obviously very popular. A lot of us love this show. What did you guys do to kind of start making this your own production?
I would have to say it's probably the director, Doug. He has changed some parts of the musical to make it where it's like, I can't really put it into words because I don't want to reveal too much.
No spoilers.
But yeah, no spoilers, but there's some changes that not a lot of productions have done for Into the Woods.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
And what I've heard about theater at Carolina is it's a very intensive process, lots of rehearsals, very quick, in a few weeks that you turn this around. Can you tell us about what the rehearsal process is like and the schedule?
Yeah, so for the schedule, auditions start like last semester, and then if you get in, you have to take a class, and you have practice from pretty much 6 to 10 from Sunday through Thursdays. So it is pretty intense, but at the same time, it's pretty good.
And if someone doesn't have tickets yet, where should we head to?
Oh, yes. You can get it at unc.drama.com. And currently, I believe all performances, well, most of the performances are sold out except for April 14th.
Wow. That is, I'm glad to hear that because that's the day I was hoping to go.
Really?
So I'll be grabbing those tickets. And it's on Keenan Theater's website, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We're so excited to see this show.
Thank you.
And thank you so much to our viewers for tuning in. Be sure to tune in to our social media, Rise and Shine, at Rise and Shine UNC, to see clips from the show and more. Thank you again, and have a great week.